Now, a Filipino-American beauty queen steals the spotlight in the Miss USA 2022 pageant. 28-year-old R'Bonney Gabriel from Texas bested 50 other candidates to take home the Miss USA title crown. The pageant was held earlier this week in Reno, Nevada. With the win, R'Bonney will represent the U.S. in the 71st Miss Universe pageant happening in New Orleans, Louisiana in January. And R'Bonney joins us now all the way from Los Angeles in the U.S. Hi, R'Bonney. Thank you so much for joining us. And well, congratulations to you. It's only been a few days. I mean, how has it been so far?
Oh my gosh, hello, mabuhay in Philippines. How are you? It has been so amazing. I just got to LA yesterday and it's already very jam-packed and a lot of fun.
I mean, you've been doing a lot of the rounds, a lot of interviews I have seen. But what I wanted to find out first up is your name. I mean, R'Bonney is such a unique name. The history behind that, is it like part of your dad's name? Similar to your dad's name at all?
Yes, I'm named after my father. His name is R'Bonney. So I'm kind of the female version of his name, R'Bonney.
R'Bonney, quite interesting. You know, what stands out also the most about you is how you seem to enjoy, or you seem to have embraced your Filipino heritage. I mean, during the pageant's interview round, you made quite an impact wearing an outfit that reflects your Filipino roots and, of course, at the same time celebrates sustainability. Talk to me about, first of all, that look, that wonderful look, yung Maria Clara inspired. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration, of course, the creative process.
Well, the story behind it is that I wanted to celebrate my parents and give thanks to them. So my mom is from Texas, my dad is from Manila, Philippines, and they actually got married in the Philippines. And those flowers you see there are the same flower designs that was on my mother's wedding dress. And I have the Maria Clara collar just to champion my love for not only my Filipina roots, but how I'm proud to be a Texan. And I just wanted to showcase my best self as a designer on the Miss USA stage.
I mean, I love the look. I mean, it is so impressive that you've been able to come up with something, you know, blending the best of both worlds. I mean, you are a model, you are a fashion designer, you actually run your own label. Focusing once again on the look and being a fashion designer, it is actually made from upcycled and recycled materials. Tell us more about your advocacy for sustainability. And we understand that you also, as I mentioned earlier, you have this eco-friendly clothing brand.
Yes. So if you don't know, the fashion industry is the second largest polluting industry in the world. And as a fashion designer, I want to be a part of the movement that is pushing the industry to be more sustainable. So what I do as a designer is I take old pieces and I recycle them into fabulous new pieces, or I'll take sustainable materials that are silk or natural fibers and create that way just to share the message and combat the issue of pollution in our industry.
And, you know, being a fashion designer, you're actually wearing one of your creations right now?
Actually, yes, I am. I'm so glad you asked. This is a one-shoulder creation of mine, the Filipiniana sleeve. And it was actually one of my backups for Miss USA that I never wore. So it's perfect timing. I can wear it for this interview.
I mean, did you come up and you create a lot of your outfits?
Yes, I create as much as possible. I spend time in the studio almost every day. I live in my studio. I live, eat, and breathe designing. So as I'm training for Miss Universe 2, I'm going to be designing some of my pieces. I'm very excited for y'all to see what I have to create.
And not only that, but I understand you're also having sewing classes. I mean, that goes to show how passionate you are. I mean, with this whole fashion industry and designing.
Yes, so I'm a sewing teacher. I work at a nonprofit design house in Houston where I work with women that have survived from domestic violence and human trafficking, and I teach them how to sew if they're interested in it. And it's really all about providing opportunities to learn something new and build that confidence and go after your goals or something that you're curious about. And in Texas and all across the USA now, I'm going to be visiting schools where I teach the youth how to sew, because I want to open up opportunities for people to learn something new and just find their passion like I found mine.
Well, R'Bonney, the Philippines is truly beauty pageant crazy. I mean, we just love our pageantry here. But, of course, it's not easy. As you know, it's not really easy being able to join a pageant and succeed at that. What are your favorite or most favorite moments during the competition?
Wow, looking back at it, I loved how I was able to actually spend some time with the girls. We competed for, I think, about a week, a little bit over a week, and we had different activities that we did. One of my favorites was Best Buddies, an organization that Miss USA partners with. And we got to go bowling with the Best Buddies and just have fun and really dance around. I loved that. And one of my favorite parts is obviously being able to build concepts and ideas of different looks and fashion elements to be glamorous and fun during Miss USA.
Well, you definitely seem to be in your element. And, well, we still have 3 months left to prepare for the 71st Miss Universe pageant happening in January. I know you're busy, doing all of these things. And will you have time to prepare for the Miss Universe? You're actually competing against Miss Philippines Universe, Celeste Cortesi. What are your preparations like?
Oh my gosh, training is every day in one way or another, whether that's interview, walking, Q&A, designing outfits, just expanding on my advocacy, teaching the sewing classes, and really protecting that mindset and keeping it strong and fresh in these next 3 months. I'm just going to hit the ground running and never take a day for granted and do as much as I can.
Well, a little bit about your background as well, being a Filipino, a Phil-American. Your mom is an American. What was it like growing up? Were you able to come visit us here in the Philippines? Was your dad able to cook for you? I mean, what was that like for you?
Okay, I wish my dad cooked a little bit more, but luckily my mom adopted some recipes. I grew up on chicken adobo, ensaymada, salmon sinigang, and luckily I was able to visit the Philippines growing up numerous times. I spent a lot of time in Manila. I've been to El Nido. I want to explore more of the Philippines. It is so beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to going back in December with Smile Train with the Miss USA organization. We plan on going there. Smile Train is a cleft-based organization, and we'll be doing work there by the end of the year.
And I interestingly enough, I was able to catch a picture of your dad on Instagram modeling one of your outfits. Is he a reluctant model, or is he quite willing to help you out?
Oh my gosh, he comes with a high price. He's a little stubborn, but once I actually got him on set for that photo shoot, he loved it and he didn't want to get off set. So my dad, he gets a lot of attention because he's so fun and he's so cute. And I'm just really glad that he's along for this whole crazy ride.
Well, speaking of crazy ride, R'Bonney, your advice to aspiring beauty queens out there now that, as some of your interviews, you've always talked about being able to find yourself. Being represented out there, and now you're actually there paving the way for other Phil-Ams or Filipinos.
Yes, my advice is really tap into what makes you special and what makes you unique and fully embrace that. As the first Filipina American Miss USA, I embrace that wholeheartedly, and that I think is what makes me strong. So I would encourage girls to really look into what makes them unique and what makes them special and not compare themselves to anybody else. And I'm somebody who received first runner-up 3 times in a row before I finally won Miss Texas USA and then went on to win Miss USA. So never, never, never let rejection make you give up. I think rejection just offers you ways to analyze in ways that you can get better. So never give up, keep going, and embrace what makes you special.
Ayan, maraming salamat sa iyo. Congratulations once again. Thank you so much for joining us. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much for joining us here on New Day.